My next Patreon question is from Micah, who wants to know if other studios will take the same radical approach as Warner Brothers. With Warner Brothers announcing films from Wonder Woman 1984 to its current 2021 movie catalog coming to both theaters and on HBO Max, could this be an opportunity for other studios to do something similar? If so, what films would you see being released both in theaters and on other streaming services? That's an interesting question. This was certainly a bold announcement on WB's part, although a part of me wonders how much of this came from wanting to drive up the amount of subscribers to HBO Max, seeing as the first number of sign-ups of the service have been rather underwhelming. I imagine the other Hollywood studios are watching this closely, while also recognizing the anger this is causing from those who were left blindsided by the announcement, like the filmmakers who expected their movies to only release theatrically. If you're interested in seeing a new Warner Brothers film like Wonder Woman 1984 or In the Heights, paying the $15 HBO Max subscription does seem like a good bargain. I can especially see families taking advantage of this when Tom and Jerry opens. However, I don't think audiences will abandon theaters either, based on how Wonder Woman 1984 performed on its opening weekend. I think in these current times, when the health risks are so high, it's good the option exists to watch the films at home. Although it's worth pointing out, this HBO Max deal is exclusive to the United States, which gives Americans an unfair advantage. Want to watch Wonder Woman in Canada? It's a $30 video-on-demand rental. Doesn't seem right, does it? Even though Warner Brothers is getting a lot of headlines for this, they actually were not the first to implement this strategy in 2020. Neon opened the comedy Palm Springs at drive-ins over the summer, the same time the film premiered on Hulu. The major studio that's gone the closest implementing this strategy is Disney. They will have Raya and the Last Dragon open in cinemas and on Disney Plus at the same time, albeit with an added $30 fee. But as I pointed out in my recent box office report card for 2020, each studio seemed to have their own ideas of how to handle the disruption to their usual release model. While Universal could use this to bring subscribers to Peacock, they seem rather pleased with their new model of having films available on premium video on demand a few weeks after the theatrical release, especially since this is something Universal has been wanting to do for a long time. Viacom CBS is rebranding CBS All Access as Paramount Plus, so maybe they'll consider this. But they've also been very willing to sell films to other streaming services. I imagine the $125 million they received from Amazon for the domestic rights to the Coming to America sequel was more money than they would have earned if it was a theatrical release, or if they had saved it for their own platform. Sony does not really have their own streaming service, and appears most committed to theatrical, enough that their CEO recently revealed that they have gotten calls from filmmakers who want to make movies with them rather than Warner Brothers. There's also the interesting case of Netflix and Apple. Apple did release films like On the Rocks and Wolfwalkers in cinemas a few weeks before they were available at home. Could they shift their release strategy for future movies? I don't know. Netflix also gives films theatrical releases, albeit very limited, in only the cinemas that are okay with Netflix, and usually before they are on the service. But again, things could change. I think something that could get in the way are talent deals. We've seen the reaction from directors like Denis Villeneuve over this, and even Patty Jenkins only begrudgingly agreed to this simultaneous release for Wonder Woman. There are so many behind-the-scenes agreements to work out that we're not privy to. Not to mention there are movies like Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong, where Warner Brothers is not even the primary investor, the production company is. I don't know if this will catch on with other studios, but Hollywood has certainly been unpredictable this past year. Thank you for your question, Micah.